And welcome back to the Steve Malzberg Show, ladies and gentlemen. And as promised, we're joined by the former Attorney General of the state of Virginia, also former gubernatorial candidate, Ken Cuccinelli. Hello, Ken.
How are you doing?
Good, good. I'm doing well. How are you? Good to talk to you. All right, you are now on the team with Rand Paul. We covered, of course, the fact that he is suing or has filed officially the lawsuit against Obama's administration with regard to the NSA. Explain to me, I mean, I had a couple of attorneys on afterward, and they think the fact that it's a class action may actually cause him trouble, but was that the only way he could actually have standing to do this? Explain all that to me.
No. Let's flesh that out. I would assume other lawyers are surprised by the class action piece because that's not normally how you deal with the Fourth Amendment. The Fourth Amendment is, for your listeners, the amendment that protects you from unreasonable searches and seizures. And here they're searching our information, our telephone metadata, without any particularized suspicion about you or me or anybody they're getting the information about. And that's why, while normally in a Fourth Amendment case, you're arguing about a particular search. So they came and took something from you. They seized something from you. Or they searched you in some way. It's individualized. This is unique because they're doing it literally to everyone with a phone, or actually everyone who gets on a phone. And they've done it for 5 years. So it is genuinely unique. I certainly, for those who have followed Fourth Amendment law for a while, you don't expect to see a class action in the Fourth Amendment area. But here they're warrantlessly searching all of us who use phones, and so class action is particularly appropriate here. We're all in the same position. We're all being searched. We're all having our telephone metadata searched by our own government on a daily basis. And we believe that's unconstitutional. We believe that is the case for everybody who uses a phone when there is no suspicion that they have done or participated or have information that could lead to anything wrong, any wrongdoing, any crime, stopping any terrorist attack. And so we'll see what the courts have to say about that. But here in this particular unusual circumstance with what the NSA is doing with their dragnet searching, we believe class action is the appropriate way to approach it.
And is the goal to stop the program and or get damages for anybody who has a cell phone?
We are not seeking money damages. We are only seeking to end the unconstitutional searches and to have the court order the NSA to purge its database of its 5 years' worth of unparticularized information gathering about each one of us.
Now, this is a completely separate suit, obviously, from Larry Klayman's. Now, what is the process here? You're not seeking an expedited Supreme Court decision on this. You're going to go through the process, right?
We are going through the process in the usual fashion. I expect in about 2 months we'll see motions to dismiss filed by the government, and those will be briefed and argued, I would expect, this summer. If we get by those, then I would expect us to enter. And we're not seeking a preliminary injunction. We're trying to get all the way through the case. So if we get by the motion to dismiss, we would then engage in some discovery, some targeted discovery, not the kind of sweeping, we want everything you've got kind of approach that you may have heard others talk about, but a good targeted hit to determine exactly what they're doing and have been doing for the last 5 years. We don't actually need their data. We just need to know what they've been doing. And so with that targeted discovery done, we will then move to summary judgment, which will decide the case. And whoever loses, of course, will appeal on up to the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals.
Ken, in the process, do you depose government officials, and how high would that reach if you had your way?
Yeah, I expect that we will take some depositions. It is not the depositions would be targeted to people with functional knowledge, not necessarily targeting people with high position. What's more important to us is get to the nuts and bolts of what's been going on here, not to put anybody on the spot for the sake of putting them on the spot.
And so we're looking at a timetable here of several years. Maybe this comes to
it. For the first round, a number of months, maybe as soon as 4 or 5 months, or as long as a year if we go through discovery and motions and so forth, and then probably a decent part of another year for the Court of Appeals. And then at some point, one of these cases is going to get to the Supreme Court. And that's where it's really going to be decided in terms of the ultimate scope of our Fourth Amendment protection.
Let me just ask you, who's paying for this suit? I mean, is it Rand Paul? Does he have a fund? Do you have a fund?
Freedom Works has a constitutional defense fund that this is a project of, and that's the primary supporting financer of this. And people can go support Freedom Works' effort. Their C4 is a plaintiff here, but they can go to the Constitution Defense Fund on Freedom Works' website, and they can be supportive of this effort.
All right. Well, Ken, it's good to talk to you again. I wish you luck, and we'll talk to you along the way, I'm sure.
Super. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Ken Cuccinelli, ladies and gentlemen, who certainly would have made a great, great, great governor of the state of Virginia. Of course, the former Attorney General of Virginia. He, resigned that post to seek gave up that post, I should say, to seek the governor's mansion in Virginia. And by the way, he just opted. I did want to ask him about the news today that a federal judge, and here we go again, the federal judge overturning the will of the people, federal judge saying that Virginia's ban on same-sex marriage is unconstitutional. Just so you know, we did want to ask him that, but he just wanted to stick to this issue. He says that would be more commentary, and since he's involved in a case right now, a high-profile case, he wanted to stay focused on that, so we respected his wishes. But I did want you to know that I would have loved to have heard what he might have said about the situation in Virginia, which again, here we go again. It's the courts overturning the will of the people, and I fear that's how it's going to go. Wherever it can, it will. Wherever it can, it will. All right, when we come back, final interview, final segment of the week before we head into this holiday weekend for President's Day. And that'll be, Christine O'Donnell. She's, of course, she was the U.S. Senate Republican candidate from Delaware. She's an author, and she had her taxes violated, her privacy violated. She's trying to rectify that. We'll talk to her, so don't go away. Of course, you're watching The Steve Malzberg Show right here on Newsmax Television.
The